Hey guys, the Lord here, back again with another review, and today we'll be taking a look at the McFarlane Toys Mortal Kombat 11 Bloodfeud Hunter Spawn. And before I get into the meat and taters of this review, shout out to my aunt in Florida for hooking this up for this past Christmas season. So, shout out to her. I would not have this figure right here if it wasn't for her. I missed out on it when it came out originally like a dingus, even though I really wanted it. I just either didn't have the funds, or when it was available I just kind of forgot about it, because it is just a variant. I almost wasn't going to get this guy, but god damn it, just look at this awesome inverted version of what already was, in my opinion, dang near a perfect Spawn figure. My only real gripe with this Mortal Kombat 11 Spawn buck is that the chains aren't metal. I don't really mind the plastic cape too much because cloth gets dirty. For those of you who have a lot of figures with cloth capes, you probably got to try and keep them somewhat clean. And I don't like to do that. I don't like the dust, let alone clean shit. So, you know, I'll take a plastic cape. It's a little bit less to handle. I don't got to worry about it tearing or ripping or fraying over time. It's just a nice sculpted and painted cape. And unlike the Malefic Spawn, he actually got a decent amount of paint on the back here. Or it's at least a different color. A darker red. I prefer that. But as far as accessories go, he comes with this stand. One thing to note, also, his legs seem to move in closer than that original Spawn. And it's not because one's seated differently. I've had that problem before where I've had to have my dad go in and do some measuring and some heating and some popping and some fixing and whatnot to get the legs seated all the way. I actually had to do that on my Injustice 2 Dr. Fate recently. Pre-holiday season, I think. But, yeah, it appears to me that the diaper is either a softer material or it's just pushed up more or something. Something's different here. And I'm not quite sure what it is, but it's whatever. It's fine. He stands. He does come with this awesome looking battle axe too. So that's a plus. It's a different weapon. I didn't have this weapon before. I did have the Target exclusive Spawn, but it's been hanging on my wall mitten box because I got it on sale and I wanted to have a Spawn mitten box, but this past holiday season, I also needed something to give to my old man for Christmas. So I gave him my axe Spawn because I got this one and he comes with the axe. So I don't need the carded one with the axe anymore. I do need one that comes with a club, though. Is that the Walmart gold label Pimp Daddy Spawn that's all like blinged out with gold? I don't know. I think Lord Covenant comes with a sword, which that's kind of tempting, but it's like you don't need that. Kind of do, but I don't. But this axe is cool. I love this axe. It's got a really nice sculpt to it. Perfect for Mythic Legions if you're into mixing weapons from other lines. Now we got the figure. Love this guy. I love the colors. I like the inverted look. That's why I wanted this variant in the first place. But I will tell you, the torso, at least on mine, super kind of floppy, which kind of sucks. It's not as bad as it was, I'll tell you right now, but I am going to probably put some blue tack or something in this torso to get it to kind of stiffen up a bit. Because as it stands, it is pretty loose. Well, there's a tight notch there at least, but it's pretty flaccid. It's not that great. And I don't know what's going on with McFarlane and loose joints lately, but they seem to be more common than not. And your boy's not really a fan of that. And what's stupid is if I put it this way, it's not loose. So, you know, it's whatever, I guess. I'll just put something in there. Maybe even some Elmer's glue. That's a trick courtesy of Mr. Toy Nuts, a.k.a. Brian Starner, the Strudel Man. I might put something in there. I have to put something in there. Because it's not terrible right now. It's way better than it was. But the side-to-side is looser than the forward-to-back, if you know what I mean. But other than that, his joints are exceptional for a McFarlane figure. So his head will rotate side to side. He will get some pretty good up, pretty good down. He does tilt side to side as well. Shoulders go out to the side. They go back down. He does have the butterfly ball thing in there. He's got a bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, which, gives you a little bit more than 90. His wrists are on the standard kind of ball hinges, but I think mine are faced in and out right now, but you can rotate them and whatnot. I typically put the weapons in the left hand because the right has the big old chunky gauntlet on it. And then he's of course got the ball joint in the torso, and then also in the waist. The waist is nice and tight. And I've tried the heat pinch trick on this, but this plastic's just too... It's PVC, but it's too stiff. It's not like the upper torso, which you can see is this kind of rubbery material. Which even if I do that, it doesn't wiggle as much, but it just kind of flexes out. So I'm probably just going to put some adhesive or something in here. I can easily pop this apart too. It's not that difficult. But I'm just not going to do that on camera right now. Get those out of the way. His hips kick out to the side. They kick back down. He kicks forward pretty good. Back. He's got a thigh cut here. Then he's got a double joint at the knee. Yeah. There we go. There. And then he has a ball joint, or the ball hinge in the foot, with the hinge and the rocker, which the rocker's at. Like, all these guys' joints are pretty tight. The toe is kind of whatever. And he's got peg holes at the bottom of the feet. Now, I couldn't remember what those are called for some reason. Yeah, he's got the super flap going on in the torso. I'm not a fan of that, but I could probably fix that with some Elmer's glue or, again, blue tack. I thought about blue tack because that seems to be the end-all be-all to fixing those kinds of issues. I mean, people use it on custom heads and whatnot. I'm trying to figure out which side of the axe has more blood on it. I think it's that one. But he definitely looks cool just kind of hanging out, standing there, looking like a badass, as Spawn does. Is this a legit skin in the game, or is this McFarlane just making toys? I mean, they can do that, of course, but yeah, this is a really nice variant of what is already almost a perfect figure. So I would recommend this to somebody if they were into Spawn. But with that being said, let's take a look at some comparisons. And because the MK11 Spawn is such a staple on this channel as far as comparisons go, we're just going to cut right to the chase and take a look-see at how the Bloodfeud Hunter Spawn here looks next to the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibulus, and, as I previously mentioned, the MK11 Spawn, the infamous MK11 Spawn, who is literally in almost all of my videos for comparison. So if you don't know how this buck scales with other lines by now, you ain't watching the channel. What's wrong with you? That subscribe button's there. It's free. Come on, man. Help a brother out. But getting him out of the way, I don't know if my camera can handle so much awesome, if you can handle so much awesome on one screen, but here is their evil stepbrother, the Malefic Spawn, which is currently in the Overlord Productions Action Figure Hall of Fame class of 2021. And this Bloodfeud Hunter Spawn is actually going to be joining him right after I post this video. So, take that for what it's worth. It is a variant of a figure that was already in the Overlord Productions Action Figure Hall of Fame. So, of course, it's either just as good or different enough to make it just a little bit better in its own way. Much like the Templar Knight Azrael, that's in there because, Azrael was in there. And if we get an X-Force style Venom Pool, like deluxe figure from Hasbro and their Marvel Legends line, I'm sure he'll wind up in there too, because While your boy's not the biggest fan of variants, I do like variants of figures I really, really, really love, and this is one of those times. So, with that being said, time to wrap things up. Some final thoughts. Overall, and while I know this is just a variant of what was a really, really solid figure, and if I had to recommend any of the 11 spawns to anybody, it would probably be the one with the club, because it's the closest to the standard release. Well, standard release I think is the one with the club, but I have the one with the sword. And I think that one's a little bit cheaper because this guy on the secondary market, not too easy to find for like 30 bucks or less. I found him once, that one sold. This one I think was like closer to 35, so kind of hard to get. And if it's got a floppy torso like mine, it's arguably not worth that kind of cash, but that's nothing I can't fix with a little bit of adhesive. So I'm going to let that slide, but Todd, you need to step up your game as far as quality goes. This is an older release, so it's just one of those my crappy luck things, but lately your quality's kind of slipping, dude. You need to step it up because Hasbro's kicking your ass with the pinless tech on Marvel Legends lately. I haven't really had any severely loose joints on any Legends. I didn't talk about this in my top 10 Legends video I posted earlier this week, but as far as Marvel Legends QC goes, other than the thigh cuts on the Infinity Saga Odin, which are a little bit too gummy for my liking, and I'm a little bit worried that one of the pigs might be slightly sheared. I may need to replace that at some point. That is the only issue I ever had all year with Hasbro Marvel Legends. Granted, I didn't buy as many, but any other issue I had wasn't easily resolvable. So, take that for what it's worth. Hasbro had a pretty good year as far as Marvel goes. I didn't have a lot of problems, but McFarlane DC, you're kind of slipping. You need to step it back up. Even if it means you got to charge a couple bucks more, I would definitely pay the money if it means we get slightly better quality and, existing customer service. Because right now, that's... But at any rate, we're not talking about all that. We're talking about this Bloodfeud Hunter Spawn here. It's a cool variant. If you like Spawn, you probably already got it. It's kind of an old release, but I wanted to review it anyway because it was a Christmas present from my aunt in Florida. Shout out to her once again. And this is also the same aunt that hooked up Baraka and Shao Kahn for my birthday. So maybe this year it'll be Kotal Khan the Joker. I don't know. But at any rate, that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And if you are so inclined, please hit that notification bell so you know whenever I upload more reviews like this one, because we've got to show that algorithm who's boss right. I do have a year-end review video coming for the year of 2021. Spoiler alert, it pretty much sucked other than some really decent action figures coming out. If you watch my top 13, you know damn well we had some really solid releases this past year. But other than that, it was pretty much crap. But either way, also, I will be leaving a link to my original 11 Spawn video in the description below for those of you who want to check that out. But in the future, take note of this. This is going to be the standard Spawn video that I will reference when we get other variants of this buck that I happen to like. There is a regular colored Spawn with some blood splatter on it. Wouldn't be surprised if your boy picks that one up along with the Blood Disciple version of Malefic Spawn. So I'll be referencing this video a lot because it is done in my current kind of review style with the different segments and whatnot. So keep that in mind. But I will be leaving a link to the OG K11 Spawn video in the description below if you want to check that out. It's the video that kind of reignited, regenerated, resurrected this channel because I was on a very long hiatus, just wasn't feeling quite myself, and when I got that Spawn, kind of all changed. So That being said, if you haven't already, hit me up on Instagram at Overlord Productions. But as always, keep the comments civil. This world sucks enough as it is. Until next time, I'll catch you guys later.